أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم صلى الله على محمد وآل محمد ودعاتهم الذين هم ينابيع الحكم Mu'mineen, those who teach Dawat knowledge and those who receive it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May you be among the people who fill their hearts to the brim with true knowledge and illuminate their souls with its light. May Allah Ta'ala grant you strength to undertake His worship through deeds and through knowledge. In today's Majlis, I will do bayan on this question. What is the highest knowledge? What is the best knowledge? And why is it the best and the highest? All knowledge is knowledge, but this knowledge is special. It has a higher status over all other kinds of knowledge. So why is that the case? If the answer becomes clear to you, then a door will open which will lead to many doors being opened to you. Inshaallah. With Allah Ta'ala's aid and the inspiration, ta'in of His Wali Imam Zabaan, I will do this bayan. It is always related in our bayans that the highest knowledge is the knowledge of Aal-e-Mohammad, Aal-e-Mohammad, and that the highest knowledge within that knowledge is knowledge of God, al-Tawhid. He is our creator and He is one. This is the heart of all knowledge. Aal-e-Muhammad's knowledge is the highest because the person who obtains this knowledge and believes it and has faith in it and acts upon it will earn eternal life. This knowledge will benefit him always in this world and in the world to come. Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, Allah will exalt those who have knowledge to high ranks. He also says the hereafter will be greater in ranks and greater in preferment. Imam Salawatullahi alayhi has said that knowledge was brought to earth by Adam, the first Imam who received divine knowledge, all knowledge because of his spiritual link to the celestial world. The Quran says Allah taught Adam all the names. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. Amir Mu'mineen says further that the knowledge with which prophets received preferment is now with Muhammad and his descendants, the Imams. And during the Imams' concealment, they have placed the keys of their treasure of knowledge in the keeping of their da'is. Imam Salawatullahi alayhi says in the Ikhwan al-Safar, we do not have enmity of any knowledge or any faith. Our knowledge encompasses all other knowledge. This is what the Imam says. Only the Imams and the Da'is possess true knowledge of religion and the hereafter. And that is the best knowledge, because if you obtain it, you will enter paradise. This knowledge may be compared to pure honey, which remains and preserves. It is the quality of honey. In the same way, the knowledge of Aal-e-Mohammad will remain forever, and whoever acquires it will remain by its grace forever. This knowledge will take you to the place of eternal life. In comparison, worldly knowledge will benefit, but only here in this world. As our Imam has said, we have nothing against any kind of knowledge. In fact, all knowledge is encompassed within our knowledge. Dawat exists in this world. It is therefore necessary to learn worldly knowledge in order to lead a good life. But you should not immerse yourself in it such that you pay no attention to obtaining the knowledge of Aal-e-Mohammad, knowledge of the hereafter, which is the mainstay of all things. Why does all this exist? Why do we exist? You should not lose sight of the why in all things. I have said to you many times that this world is a place that you are passing through. It is not your permanent home. The intelligent person is the one who grasps this reality. If you travel to a different city and stayed in a hotel for a few days, would you spend all your time decorating your hotel room? That would be unwise. Seeing that it is a temporary place of stay and you are going to depart from it soon. In the same way, you should obtain knowledge of this world, become a doctor, engineer, but you should not become so immersed in material things that you lose sight of the purpose for which you have come into this world and squander the opportunity to earn eternal life. It should not be that you pay no attention to obtain the knowledge of Aal-e-Mohammad. Once, many years ago, I heard a news story about a scientist who spent his entire life researching a particular flower. I related this story to my father, Syedna Qutbuddin. He immediately responded, what is the benefit in that? To spend all your life in something like this, you should not become so immersed in obtaining particulars of worldly knowledge that you lose sight of the bigger picture, why all this exists, and not learn all that. Mu'mineen, there exists a fountain of youth in this world from which you are invited to drink. It contains the water of life, water that bestows eternal life on the one who drinks. That water of life is the knowledge of Aal-e-Mohammad. The deeper symbolic meaning, ta'wil, of water is knowledge. The knowledge of Aal-e-Mohammad is the highest and best knowledge. Within that, the highest and best knowledge is recognition of Allah Ta'ala, our Creator. Allah is the one who gave us life, who created life. All knowledge about life then comes from Allah through the channel of life. The foundation of all knowledge and its essence is recognition of Allah's oneness, Tawhid. I discussed in the first Majalis al Hikma the way to understand Allah, to obtain the knowledge of Tawhid, the first intellect, Aql-e-Awwal, in the world of the original creation, who is denoted in the Quran by the qalam, pen. The first intellect acknowledged his Creator and paid homage to him. And he arrived at this conclusion by first recognizing himself. Ilm bizzat. What does this mean exactly? A good equivalent English term is consciousness of self. The consciousness that I exist, that I did not exist before and now I do. The first intellect also came to this realization that I and all forms around me do not have the power to create something from nothing. Therefore, there is one who created me and them, and I acknowledge him as my creator. There is no God but he. La ilaha illa hu. Because of this recognition, the first intellect became aware of all things through the blessings of the Almighty, and he became eternal. There is much bayan on this topic in Dawat kitabs. Consciousness of self, ilm bizzat, is something humans also possess. The awareness that I did not exist before and now I do. Forms like stones and rocks do not possess self-awareness because they are steeped in utter physicality. Humans possess this knowledge because they possess intelligence. With their intellect, they are able to reach this conclusion. The difference between humans and other created forms in this world is that humans have intelligence through which they become aware of themselves. They have self-awareness. Now, to the crucial subsequent point. Who is it who teaches us how to recognize the Creator? It is Allah's wali, his representative, who establishes his dawat on earth, who teaches humans about their Creator. And only if you obtain this knowledge from him will you obtain the truth of Tawhid and walk the correct path. As Syedna Taher Fakhruddin said in a poem addressing the Imams, saying, I swear by God that whoever tries to understand Allah without walking the path shown by the Imams will fall into the abyss of comparing the Creator with created beings or complete denial, either one of the two. It has been said, La Buddha min muallim, you must have a teacher, someone who teaches you properly. Do not speculate about these things based on your whim or someone's opinion. Just as a child who is not taught by his parents becomes like an animal and lives in that manner, in the same way, a human's soul, his intellect, has need of the light of guidance. The eye has the capacity to see, but if it does not get light from outside, it will see nothing. Our Mawali Tahirin teach us how to recognize Allah Ta'ala truly. And whoever obeys Allah's awliya will find the right path, the path to Allah Ta'ala. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said, whoever recognizes himself recognizes his Lord. Amir al-Mu'mineen Salawatullah Alayhi says, a man who does not recognize his own worth will perish. These are both profound teachings. I will explain 2 points here. As Rasulullah and Amir al-Mu'mineen said, if a person does not recognize his own self, if a person does not recognize his own worth, he will perish. Meaning, he will not be able to arrive at the realization that I have a Creator who created me. He will then be among those whom the Quran says they are dead, not alive. Ammatun ghayru ahya. He will live his life on earth like animals and it will end. His life is thus without meaning or purpose. The second point is you must have self-respect. From the sayings of Amir al-Mu'mineen here. Otherwise no one will respect you. But you should also not be so arrogant, for arrogance leads to a bad end. The path of true knowledge of Allah, Tawhid, is taught by Allah's awliya. Obey them and your recognition of Allah will be true. Whoever performs true Tawheed, who recognizes Allah as they should, Allah will accept their worship. Obedience forms the heart of everything good. If you obey Allah and His awliya, you will obtain the highest and best knowledge. And those who do not will be recycled in the cycles of this world. The knowledge of Aal-e-Mohammad is the knowledge that gives you salvation and frees you from the shackles of this world. Therefore, it is the highest and best knowledge as it gives you eternal life. Mu'mineen, Mu'minat, Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, can those who know and those who do not know be deemed equal? Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, seeking knowledge is mandatory, fariza, for every Muslim man and woman. Amir al-Mu'mineen Salawatullah Alayhi said that knowledge is a precious legacy. So be enthusiastic about learning. We have a term in Dawat language, Dawat ni Zabaan, ilm dost, friend of knowledge. Mu'mineen, befriend knowledge, be eager to learn Dawat knowledge. Many sabaqs are being taught in Dawat today with my permission. Mu'mineen are partaking of the barakat of the knowledge of Aal-e-Mohammad. One of the 2 forms of Allah's worship, ibadat ilmiya. This knowledge illuminates our souls and lets us see the signposts of the hereafter. Maulana Taher Fakhruddin said in a poem, O my people, seek knowledge, this knowledge of Aal-e-Mohammad, and make full efforts in seeking it. Go deep in it until you reach Sin. Sin in Arabic means China. Meaning in order to obtain this knowledge, you will have to expend efforts, to struggle, to take out time. Do not be consumed by affairs of the material world such that you lose the opportunity to partake of this celestial feast. Mu'mineen, everywhere in the world, take barakat of this Majalis al Hikma. I pray for you all, may Allah Ta'ala by the hurmat, sanctity of Muhammad, Aal-e-Mohammad and their dua. Grant you strength to obtain the heavenly knowledge of Aal-e-Mohammad. May Allah engrave true belief, haqqi tasawwur, in your heart. May He help you to put your knowledge into practice, and may He fulfill all your wishes. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على رسوله سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين وسلم تسليما متصلا إلى يوم الدين.
يا صباح الخميس